Hi, my name's Steve Cooper and I am owner and CEO of the Flinders Oyster Company. I've been involved in the fishing industry and the aquaculture industry for over 30 years, and I formed Flinders Oyster Company in 2014. Over the past 6 years, the Flinders Oyster Company has developed a deep water growing system for Angazi oysters. It's proved reliable and resilient to the fast-flowing waters of Western Port Bay. Angazi oysters are endemic to southern Australia and are similar to the French Ballon oyster. Each oyster filters around 200 litres of seawater per day, feeding on the microalgae in the fast-flowing tidal waters of the Flinders Aquaculture Reserve. In 1798, George Bass noted the amount of oysters present in Western Port, and by 1884, demand for the oysters was so high in the Melbourne markets that the oyster beds had been dredged to near extinction. So the government of the day placed a ban on dredging for the Angazi oysters. In 2016, the Flinders Oyster Company found a small cohort of broodstock in Western Port and took them into the hatchery and spawned the oysters we have today. At 4 millimetres of size, the spat are brought from the hatchery to the offshore sites, where they are kept in baskets for 18 months when they're ready for market. Flinders Oyster Company offshore team are responsible for the constant cleaning, grading and maintenance of the farm. The Flinders Oyster Company has a unitised growing system and is looking to install 6 hectares with enough equipment to house and grow 1 million Angazi oysters ready for market in 2023. This is Flinders, home of the Flinders Oyster Company offshore sites. We have the Aquaculture Reserve just down in the Flinders Bight, where we grow our oysters. Perfect, pristine waters that feed the microalgae to the oysters. The Angazi oyster is very important for the environment. Not only do they filter around 200 litres of water a day, but they also sequester CO2 from the ocean to make their shells. So we can actually get carbon credits for growing oysters. So that helps the environment. Also, the microalgae they produce makes the water clearer, which means the sunlight can penetrate further, creating seagrasses to grow out further, creating nurseries for all types of fish. So the Angazi oyster is very, very important for Western Port. Popularity and interest in the Angazi oysters has been shown by some of the finest wineries on the Mornington Peninsula and surrounds.
Hi, I'm Matt Wilkinson, Culinary Director of Montalto Vineyards. I've been using Steve's amazing Angazis for over a year now. So the uniqueness that is the Flinders Angazi is that it's just a product really of its place, and it's one of its own. It's got the most beautiful, intense, salty seaweed flavour, but just a real length that other oysters just don't have. A real uniqueness within the local Victorian Angazi. The really exciting thing is that this pure, unique Western Port Bay oyster needs to get to critical mass for it to be able to be seen and tasted, most importantly, around the world, not just Australia. It's amazing to be part of this journey that's going to be part of the culinary mapping of where Australia is in one oyster.
We hope to be able to take this to the rest of Victoria and then nationally over a period of time. But to do that, we need the critical mass. So this year, Flinders Oyster Company is looking at putting 1 million oysters into the water so that by 2023, we have the stocks to be able to supply not only Victoria, but the whole of Australia. And we need your help. So if you are interested in investing in an environmentally friendly method of growing oysters, please visit birchal.com.au to view our offer. Thanks.